Hey, this is John Lee Dumas of Entrepreneur on Fire. And when I'm not interviewing inspiring entrepreneurs, I'm listening to Stephanie O'Brien on the Moved by Purpose podcast.
We cannot control everything. That's an illusion. There's no way you can control everything.
Are you longing to know what your purpose is? Are you on the wrong career path? Do you feel like there must be more to life? Don't worry, there's hope. It's time to be moved by purpose. Now your host, Stephanie O'Brien.
Hey, you are listening to the Moved by Purpose podcast with your host, Stephanie O'Brien. Thank you so much for checking in today. I want to make sure that you guys are all aware that I have started a new group called the Day Job to Dream Job Career Transition Group. This is for people who are currently building their dream around their day job. They're hustling to make things happen, but there's a little bit of fear, hesitation, or maybe a bit of overwhelm. You have a lot of questions. What kind of things do you need to have in place financially? How does this all work with regarding insurance, regarding taxes, finances, all of that stuff? And at what point do you know when it is time to actually quit your day job to build full-time and to work full-time on your business? So this program addresses all of those. So make sure you send me a message and inquire for more information. That will be opening for enrollment soon. I just announced it to start letting you know about it. Registration is not yet open. Look for a webinar in the future for this launch. And bonus, if you happen to be local in the greater Detroit area, we will be doing live meetups for this group. So that's a bonus if you are in Detroit. I would love to meet you and see your face. Now on for today's episode. Today I am answering a question that someone wrote in, and this is about how to escape the golden handcuffs. It's for people that are paid very well. They might have a prestigious, high-status position. You support your family, but you're absolutely miserable. And Sharon writes in, and she says, Stephanie, I am currently in a position that pays very well and supports my family, but I am miserable. I am always working with hours that leave zero left for work-life balance. The stress level is becoming unbearable and is affecting me as a mother of 3 small children, as well as my marriage. My husband and I have agreed that it's time for me to leave my current role, but I don't have any real desire to continue in this type of career. I feel I am burned out and need a break altogether so I can find what my path is. Now, Shannon, I've had many people I work with describe the same issues you are facing. You know, your health, your marriage, your kids suffer from the damaging effects of continuing to do work that drains you of life. And you realized and came to the enlightenment it's time for a change. You realized that money is never an excuse to stay miserable. And this is where I use that catchy phrase, YOLO. You only live once. Why would you waste your life doing something that sucks your soul out, that burns you out, that robs you of the things that really matter in life, which is your relationships, your family? It's not about stuff or status. Although there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, it's when we kind of are enslaved to acquiring more or keeping a certain status, that's where a danger lies. And there's more to life than just stuff and money. Although I am a big proponent in prospering and living very well by doing work you love, and it's absolutely possible you can get paid very well doing work you love, very few people take the time to process through that to determine what that even looks like and how to make that happen. And that's exactly what I do for you as a coach. I coach you through that whole process and show you how you can make very good money doing something that you love and have more time for the people that matter to you. Anyways, so the question is, why do people stay in their situation? Why do people continue to stay miserable in work that is no longer enjoyable for them? And I've learned that there are 5 reasons that people stay in work they are miserable in. Number 1, they fear change and the unknown. But the truth is, life is full of change and uncertainty. We cannot control everything. That's an illusion. There's no way you can control everything. It's people that have the greatest fear of uncertainty or the unknown that have this illusion, that cling to what they know because they think they can control it, when the truth is they really can't. So my suggestion and encouragement is, the more that you surrender your tight grip of control, the more freedom in life you will find. Very, very true. For my case and for many other people, you surrender it and you find freedom. Number 2, they are under the illusion of a secure and steady paycheck, which you've heard me say and many guests on this show say, it does not exist. I use the word illusion with intention. Security of a steady and reliable paycheck is not security at all. At any moment, the business can merge or they can sell it, and they may decide to let go of all the executive level management. While it's true that the higher up your position is, the more work it does take to replace you. And this is where people think that they have this super incredible job security because they have a higher level position. But that is not true. I mean, the reality is they still can and will replace you if they determine it fits their business growth initiatives and it's the best decision for the business as a whole. So why not begin the process of finding your own path now? Today, not 6 months from now, not tomorrow, today. And do work that matters most to you. And no, you don't get a pay cut to do work you love. That's also a myth, as you've heard me say. You could get paid very well and maybe even better and have tons more perks and benefits and freedom and quality of life when you are doing work that matters to you. Number 3, they are worn out as it is. The thought of developing new skills and making a change seems like too much work. But people put time, money, and effort into things they value. Do you value your health, your marriage, your relationship with your kids? Do you value yourself? Put the effort into making the changes, not just for those you love most, but also for you. This will model courage to your family and to those around you. You will be a positive influence to them. I understand that if you're already miserable and you're already pretty maxed out, how there's very, very little left of you. I get that. I've been there. But when you start making a conscious decision to make a change, and when you start really putting the energy and effort into it, initially when you make that decision, once that decision is made, it's not as hard as you think it will be. And it's really not as much work as you fear that it is. Because when you start doing things that matter, that are important to you, to get you to living the life that you actually want, it's energizing. It's so energizing. It's quite the opposite. It's not draining. It's very life-giving. And the 4th reason people stay in work that they are miserable in is that they think they are doing their kids a favor by keeping them in their extracurricular activities and giving them all the luxuries that they work so hard for. This is where I'm going to be really transparent with you. I had a parent who loathed their job when I was growing up. They were paid quite well. We, as in my siblings, enjoyed family vacations and extracurricular activities. But you know what I would have rather enjoyed far more than those activities or experiences? A parent who was fulfilled, content, and thriving in work they love. Why? Well, honestly, because there would have actually been peace and joy present in the home. I would have had a parent that came home with energy and love and freedom and delight and excitement rather than of bitterness, of anger, of fear, of worry, of overwhelm, of anxiety, all the negative things that are an outcome of remaining in a place that does not give you life or joy, but it gives you a paycheck. I mean, it's just not an equal exchange. At what cost are you going to remain? The damaging effects to your family, to your children by keeping a paycheck while staying miserable, it's not worth it. Trust me, your kids want to see you alive and full of life. And I think deep down you want them to see you that way too. We will be back after this quick commercial break.
Why do some businesses make 7 figures while others barely pay the rent? It's the MG word, Mastermind Group. With a Mastermind Group, you'll get feedback, input, idea sharing, and brainstorming by other business experts. You can't afford to spend $500 on postcards that don't make sales. You can't afford pay-per-click that doesn't deliver. Why learn from trial and error? Why not learn from others that have already been there? This group is for speakers, coaches, writers, and consultants that are hustling to make things happen. How much will this cost you? Just $249 a month. You'll get more support, coaching, and training of a top mastermind group for a fraction of the price. Think you can't afford it? Trust me, $249 is nothing compared to business mistakes that will cost you thousands. Learning from home study programs, books, and consuming free podcasts and blogs will only get you so far. Real success comes with a team of committed members. Don't delay. Apply today and save $50 per month bonus upon acceptance.
So more importantly, they will be so supportive of you. I really believe they'll be so supportive of you if you make that decision and there is a little bit of a season of change where you might have less time available because you're building a dream, or maybe less funds available to put into those extracurricular activities because you are funding your dream or preparing to make a change or a transition. I think they'll be okay. I really believe, in fact, I know that they'll be completely okay and supportive of it. And number 5, the reason people stay and work that they are miserable in is they fear criticism for their peers and society. They actually want to keep their status. And here's what I have to say about keeping a status or fitting in with society. Over 70% of Americans dislike their work. I don't want to fit into that category. I'd rather be a minority, doing work I love, doing work that matters to me. And also, yes, getting paid just as well. If not even better, then I would have staying in a position I was just not happy in. So in order to change for the better, you may outgrow the old. So your former peers, coworkers, friends that you have as a result of your status or prestige or wherever you are. And that thought may kind of cause you a little bit of fear. Well, if you love these people, that's fine. But if these people are not even that life-giving to you, but they're just in your life to keep up a status, then really a change is not going to be that difficult. And here's what I did in order to really just let go of the old and embrace the new. Number 1, I listened to, viewed, or read as much life-giving and inspirational content as I could manage to get my hands on. I'm talking I devoted about 2 or more hours a day into just feeding my soul that was dying in this job I hated, and started getting life and energy and hope back into my life. Some people are like, oh, well, there's no way we could have the time. Actually, yes, you can, and here's how I managed to do it. Do you get ready in the morning? Fantastic. While you're doing your makeup or your hair, if you're a lady, you can be listening to a podcast. How about commuting to work, sitting in rush hour traffic? Yeah, you can listen to an audiobook or a podcast. Anyone exercise? Do household chores? you can also be listening to a podcast. I listened to one while I cooked dinner, while I went on a run, while I had to, rake leaves in the yard or do laundry. Any moment that I was doing things that didn't necessarily require a whole lot of mental activity, I would be learning. So you can very easily find 2 hours of learning time a day, especially if you do it through the audio means. Number 2, I actually applied what I learned. I was so full, I had to implement. I had to take action. I needed to actually do what I was learning. And this really wasn't that challenging for me. I wanted this more than anything, so applying it was pretty easy. And I really believe the same will happen to you if you take on this challenge. And number 3, I attracted more of what I wanted. Yes, I did not have to cut off toxic relationships. I didn't have to have any difficult conversations with anybody about how you're not healthy in my life and I can't have you in it anymore. You don't have to do any of that. What's going to happen is, because you're growing, you're getting healthier, you're getting stronger, you will simply outgrow those that are not growing and developing with you. And in the process, healthier and more positive relationships are going to be found. You will just continue attracting and drawing more of what you are fixing your thoughts on. So if you're fixing your thoughts on quality of life, freedom, doing work that matters, doing work that's important to you, and getting paid very well for it, you're going to suddenly find yourself surrounded by people that love what they do and get paid very well for it. And because of that, it's kind of like this automatic replacement. Not that I don't like thinking that individuals can be replaced. I mean, I still have friends that I keep, but because of the just outgrowing, it's actually harder to relate to each other and have really much to talk about because that person decided to stay stuck in fear or stay in their own world of comfort and misery, which is kind of an oxymoron, but they clung to their comfortable misery while I embraced the exciting risk of new. And I'm thriving, and I'm alive, and I love it. And I have more people in my life than I ever have had before, believe was possible, that are doing the same thing. So that's how it works. So now my question to you is, what has kept you locked into your golden handcuffs? And what one of these steps resonated most with you? And what are you going to do with this information? Give me one action step you're going to take that will get you unlocked and free to thrive and work you love. Thank you all for listening. It's fantastic to connect with you. The Day Job to Dream Job program is about to be open for enrollment. I'm letting you know. Make sure to check out movedbypurpose.net for more information on the Day Job to Dream Job program. If this resonates with you, this is the way to get unlocked out of your golden handcuffs and thriving in work you love. I look forward to talking to all of you guys next week. Take care. Over 70% of Americans dislike their work. I don't want to fit into that category. I'd rather be a minority, doing work I love, doing work that matters to me.